We are now in Men in Black, where the bad aliens destroyed all the Men in Black and took over the city. We saw the aliens causing mayhem, but we didn't go there because we could be killed. We found a portal that could lead us to the next movie, and it was Home Alone. We were in the house from the movie, as Harry and Marv, the two wet bandits from the movie, kill Kevin in the process. But of course, the main protagonist was Kevin. Oh God, he was just a kid, I said to myself, as we inched towards the portal that led us to the next movie. The next movie was Forrest Gump, starring Tom Hanks. But we were in the scene where Forrest Gump and the soldiers were in Vietnam for the Vietnam War, except for Bubba Bumford dying from Forrest Gump, and Lieutenant Dan dies too. I managed to survive and go to the portal that would lead to the next movie. The next movie was Edward Scissorhands, played by Johnny Depp. But this was odd because I actually saw Edward kill someone. Edward would never mean to kill someone. He was mistreated to the point where he had enough of it, I thought to myself. We continued to walk until Edward saw me and charged at me. Luckily, we escaped and got to the portal safely. I ended up at the beach, and this could be Saving Private Ryan, starring Tom Hanks, I wondered to myself, seeing that we're on the beach. Then we saw boats coming as the people serving in World War II were going to fight on D-Day. There was a portal underneath our legs and we fell for the portal. This time we were in the Matrix as if there was a terrible glitch. It was also overcome by Agent Smith and his agents as they walked towards me. Luckily I found the portal and we ran into the portal on time so we wouldn't become one of Agent Smith's agents. In the next movie we were in was in Jurassic Park, and it looked like the power was out, and all the carnivorous dinosaurs killed the employees that worked on Jurassic Park, and the herbivore dinosaurs. I stepped on a branch and in an accident, a T-Rex sensed my appearance. He goes to eat us, but he nearly eats us and we barely escape into the portal. We believed this was Titanic, but it was already when it hit the iceberg, and I was on one of the boats. But I didn't see any of the survivors as I rolled the boat to explore. We then entered another portal, now I think was in Physic Future. We saw people being dragged in racing, one of those cars, demonic Tortoros, or DOM for short, the Fast and Furious. But we always watched the drag race of Doom and the unknown competitor. It turns out the competitor cheated by pulling out a rocket launcher, killing Dome. Then we saw another portal that would probably lead us to another movie. It turns out I was right, and we were in Transformers 2007, but it was overcome by Decepticons, and not the Autobots that are around to save anyone. I have sensed an intruder my deceptions. Now go get this intruder, Megatron told his deceptions. Luckily we escaped through the portal into the next movie. We were on a pirate ship because once we exited the portal, so I had to be in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. But we saw Jack Sparrow dead on the ground, as if Davy Jones killed him. What are you doing here? Do you want to die? Davy Jones told us. Luckily, before Davy Jones could kill us, we escaped for the next portal. We then ended up in X2 X-Men United, but all the X-Men members had been killed by Magneto, and the city had been overrun by him and his minions. Luckily, we found another portal and ran into the portal leading to Avatar, not the last Airbender anime that aired on Nickelodeon, the movie with the blue species called Na'vi. Except the humans had killed all the Na'vis, leading them to now be extinct. We then found another portal that leads me to the next movie being Star Trek. But except we found the dead bodies of the heroes of the main ship called the Enterprise. We were now exploring the ship until we saw another portal that could lead us to the next movie. This time it was the Spider-Man movie starred Tobey Maguire, but as Spider-Man New York City, it was vandalized. Spider-Man was reported dead, and Green Goblin took over the city of everyone under his own control. So we couldn't just be killed by the Green Goblin. We found another portal and went for the next movie. It looked like we were in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, except Hogwarts was very destroyed, as if Voldemort and his army attacked the Hogwarts before the events of the Deathly Hallows. But as we were walking through the destroyed Hogwarts, we saw Voldemort had killed the students, professors, headmaster Dumbledore, Quidditch coach Madame Hooch, and the nurse Madame Pomfrey, and the caretaker Mr. Filch. Before Voldemort had a chance to kill us, we found another portal and escaped. The next movie was Iron Man, which was a movie to kick off a successful cinematic universe, but with superheroes. But like X-Men and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies, Iron Man is dead on the villain of Bloodstain, and his henchmen overrun the city. We found another portal that led to another portal, so we stepped through it and ended up in the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, except the heroes like Frodo, Samwise, Merry, Pippin, Aragorn, Boromir, Legolas, Gandalf, and Gimli were all dead on the ground as of the world overcome by orcs. We then found one more portal and stepped through the vandalized version of Gotham City from the Dark Knight, and the city was overrun by Joker and his henchmen and his Two-Face, and then we had teleported back to the base. I just wondered who teleported us back. We looked around the base and we heard breathing. It was coming from underneath the vents. "Open the vent! Show yourselves!" Joey demanded. Hands raised the vent and revealed to be not one person, but two people. They were my two friends, Charlotte and Ike. "Charlotte and Ike?" I asked in confusion. "You know these people?" Joey asked. "Yes, they are my friends," I replied. "What are you doing here?" I asked them. "We heard the news about what happened at the seafood restaurant, and we were worried about you, and your uncle and your new friend," Charlotte replied. "Care to introduce us to your new friends?" Ike asked. "Oh, this person Jim met at the seafood restaurant. His name is Jack Cooper," I said. "This is Joey and his son Jeff Johnson, Toby Edwards, and Mark Lockie," I continued. "Nice to meet you all. I'm Charlotte Henderson, and this is Ike Sanders," Charlotte said. "Also, we are walking to see if we could find you. While we were walking, we saw a prison full of people," Charlotte continued. "When we looked through and saw Oliver and the zombies, Samantha and her brothers and sister, 'Why are you here?' Charlotte asked. I wish I had a short answer, but it's kind of a long story," I told her. "But I will explain," I continued. "While shooting the seafood place happened, we were being kidnapped by Joey's former friend Matt and his son Tom," I explained. Then I explained to her and Ike about the origins of the machine, and even Matt killing his own father. I also explained to them about upgrading the machine, where they could send people to more than just movies and TV shows, but other types of media, like video games, books as well. Also told them about Matt sending me and Jim and Jack back to my Mario and Sonic Adventures for the Dead House game. We went through the events of both the main game and Return to the Dead House, as well as some new cutscenes giving the OCs in the game some more depth, I continued to explain. I also explained that after going through the events of the game, we ended up here because Joey invented his own version of Matt's machine. This time was being used for good. As for Oliver and the other characters in prison, we do have a theory that both machines were now being programmed and pulled by certain characters from any type of media. I finished explaining, but we gotta go back now because we still have a lot to go after, I explained to her. "Good, we'll come with you," Ike said, "but we need someone to look after the machine to bring us back in." I told Ike, "I got this," a voice called out. It was a woman who walked in. "Haley?" Joey asked. "You know this woman?" Toby asked. "Yes, she's my wife," Joey replied. "You guys go ahead. I'll teleport you guys to where you gotta go next," she said. Once she said that she will teleport us, the next thing we gotta go to the center of the machine we have teleported to know where to go next. It looked like we were in a comic book style when we saw the heroes from Spider-Man, Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Daredevil. "We were in the last hero now," Mark said. "We saw heroes like Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Thing, Human Torch, Silver Surfer, Professor X, Wolverine, Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Daredevil, Scarlet Witch, and Vision. They were all just in the Avengers Lookout Tower and found the villains are destroying the city. The villains were Carnage and Crossbones, and Graven the Hunter, Scream, Electro, Sabretooth, Kingpin, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Hydro Man, Modok, Magneto, Silver Samurai, Loki, Red Skull, and Doctor Doom. They went to stop the villains, but they failed. The villains have been killed. As for the heroes, like Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, belongings of these heroes were somewhere as trophies, and Captain America's shield was hanged up as a symbol of shame. Iron's helmet was vandalized, and Thor's hammer Mjolnir was just set up like a trophy. Next page had Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, watch being the news report that all the heroes except for him are dead. It looks like I must avenge him, he says. He walks into the room, and in the room he walks towards closer, and he opens it to find all kinds of weapons and ammo. Then he steps out of his house and goes find the criminals that killed his heroes, except for him. The first villain he encounters is Red Skull. Looks like we missed one of them. Don't worry, you'll be dead in 5 seconds, Red Skull says as he pulls out a gun. The Punisher pulls out a machine gun and shoots and kills Red Skull until he dies. I must continue now, the Punisher said, as he stole Red Skull's gun after he killed him. He continues to walk until Crossbones snuck up behind him and punched him down to the ground. Wasn't expecting to see you here, Crossbones said. Neither was I, the Punisher said in a smart remark. The Punisher then pulled out a small explosive device out of his pocket and attached it to Crossbones. Oh God, no, Crossbones said as he found a bomb on him. Then he looked where the Punisher was, but he wasn't there. Then an explosion from the small explosive device went off, killing Crossbones. Then it cuts back to the Punisher with a detonator that set off the explosion. One down, more to go, Punisher says, as he continues his journey. I need to continue my journey, Punisher said. While walking, he continued to walk till he was being ambushed by Kraven the Hunter, Scream, Electro, Sabretooth, Kingpin, Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Hydro Man. Let's see you get through this, Green Goblin said, while gliding in the air with his glider. After Green Goblin taunted the Punisher, Punisher grabbed his machine gun and shot both Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin off with their weaponized gliders. Killing the two of their men didn't really help the fact that you're outnumbered, Kraven said, the Hunter said. After Kraven the Hunter said that he was outnumbered, something unexpected happened. A dagger was thrown at Kraven and the Hunter, killing him. He was now then revealed to be Eric Brooks, as known as Blade. He was the one that killed Scream, Electro, Sabretooth, Kingpin, and Dr. Octopus with his swords. Then he pulled out an ice gun and froze Hydro Man. Blade, is that you? Punisher asked Blade. Oh yeah, that's me, Punisher. So what are you doing fighting these villains? Blade asked. They killed almost everyone, you know. Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, all of them, Punisher replied. Well, glad you to join you, Blade said. After that, it later cuts to the two at the base the villains were at, and then they all saw the aliens like Mold, Magneto, Silver Samurai, Loki, and Doctor Doom. Let's start killing them, Punisher, Blade said. Then he pulled out his katanas. After they got done killing the villains, guarding the base, they went to the base fighting Carnage. Well. Came for vengeance? How about avenging this? Carnage said sincerely. Then he appeared with a blade and killed him. You will pay for this, Punisher said as he pulled out two of his machine guns. He then found something that would cause a sound wave and make the noise very loud. Once the Symbiote came out of the Carnage, Punisher killed him. Then they were being lifted up, and they were now somewhere in the black screen of Mario and Sonic. This must be Mario and Sonic on Quiet Hill, Jim said.